What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Mazda Miata RF GT. Huge thank you to Matt May over at Safford Mazda of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Miata or any Mazda product, then I'll be sure to have Matt's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First things first, I wanted to apologize in advance for any external factors like the wind noise, like the plane noise, or like those turkey vultures fighting behind me here right now. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Mazda Miata RF GT. And this particular one has been painted in the $450 Snowflake White. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, the Miata receives a nice little refresh with the exterior styling, interior technology, and some mechanical bits like the limited slip differential with the manuals. But this being the RF GT, as standard, you get adaptive LED headlights with high beam control, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. But taking a step to the left, this is what the front end of the ND Miata looks like. I love the way that this thing looks because it looks aggressive but happy at the same time. I mean, if you think about it, take a look at the eyes. Don't the eyes look rather aggressive, but they also look happy at the same time? And then you get that nice little smiley face with the grille. I love the way that the ND Miata looks. I think Mazda did a fantastic job designing this thing in the first place. But you can see at the center of your front bumper you have your chrome Mazda logo, and when you come down just a little bit for your front grille, you get a mix of satin and gloss black. So this upper piece here is gloss black, the lower like fins, I guess you would say, or bars, are satin black, and then on the outsides of your front bumper you get your satin black outer grills. This particular one's been optioned with the $1,560 appearance package, which gives you the gloss black front splitter. The appearance package is a must-have option for me. I mean, it just makes this thing look just that much more aggressive, but not too aggressive, but subtly aggressive. I love the way that the ND Miata looks in addition to the appearance package. The appearance package just really sets the Miata off very, very nicely. But coming on down the side, this being the RF GT with the manual transmission, you get a double wishbone front suspension that works with a stabilizer bar, the sport-tuned Bilstein shocks, and a shock tower brace. All of those things work together to make this thing feel like it handles on rails. The Miata is one of the best handling cars by far, for the money for sure, in comparison to everything else on the market. I mean, my mom has an RF GT. Hers is an automatic 2020. I love driving that thing, and that thing introduced me to the new Miatas, and I have fallen in love with the Miata since I've driven that car. They handle so well, especially the manuals. The manuals give you, as mentioned, the Bilstein shocks, the strut tower brace, and all that kind of stuff, just to make it handle just that much better. I would say the automatic is more of a cruiser. But coming on down the side, these are the new styled wheels for 2024, and they are 17-inch gloss black with machine accent wheels, and the wheels are wrapped in 205/45 Bridgestone Potenza S001 summer performance tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick as best that I can, and then I'm also going to mention on your front two fenders, that's where you will find your turn signals, and then you get rain sensing wipers with the RF GT as standard. Coming on down the side, stylistically, you get the body color mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, manual folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming, and then you will find your blind spot monitoring on the outer left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the outer right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. As you may be able to tell, this is what makes the RF the RF. It is the retractable fastback. It is all automated. All you got to do is flip up a switch and it will open and or close. I personally prefer the RF. I know it's not quite as good on track, or not quite as sporty, or not quite as raw, but I like the way it looks better. And then I also just like being able to flip a switch and the top goes up or down. That's just very nice. And then also you get this gloss black piece that connects your two buttresses. So you get this one buttress here, that buttress there, and that is a gloss black piece. I'm going to pause for this plane again, but first I'm going to take a step back, give you a nice little side profile shot. Let me know, do you think this is one of the best looking $40,000 sports cars? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, working through that plane noise, you get the body color door handles with keyless access. All you got to do is press that button right there, and that is how you unlock and or lock the vehicle. And as mentioned, this one being optioned with the appearance package, you get the gloss black extended side skirts, which, as mentioned, the appearance package just really sets the ND Miata off Miata off very, very nicely. I mean, just take a look at how much sportier this thing looks as compared to if it did not have the appearance package. You still get, I think, little satin black side skirts, but these just look so much better. And then also on the driver's side, this is where you will find your fuel door. Premium fuel is recommended. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but it recommends it. And then when you close the the hardtop, you get a rear window defroster. This is where you'll find your third brake light. You also get a body color shark fin antenna, and the appearance package also gives you the gloss black trunk spoiler. Here is a rear 3/4 shot of the Miata. Looks fantastic from any angle, but you get LED combination taillights back here. You get the chrome badging with the MX-5 badging, the Mazda badging, and the Sky Active G badging. Here is a little booty shot of this thing. I love how small it is, but how just awesome it looks at the same time. I'm gonna pause for the plane again. If you wanted to open up your trunk, you'd put your finger on this black button right here with your key fob in your pocket, and that is how you open up the trunk. And honestly, considering the size of the Miata, it actually has a pretty respectable sized trunk, all things considered. You can fit a duffel bag in here along with a couple backpacks. It's actually more spacious than it looks. But yeah, you can see your roadside assistance kit. You have your all-weather floor mats and stuff like that down underneath there. Actually, respectable amount of storage space down in there. And then right there, that's where you'll find your backup camera. Coming down just a little bit more, you can see you get that gloss black bumper skirt back here as a part of the appearance package. And then suspension wise, you get a multi-link rear suspension with a rear stabilizer bar, and as mentioned, just like the front, you get the Bilstein shocks back here as well. A couple other things is that you get a new limited slip differential for the 2024 model year, as well as a 287 final drive ratio. And that kind of about does it for the 2024 Mazda Miata here on the exterior. Let me know what your opinions are on the Miata in the comments down below. My mom, again, has a 2020, and these 2024 wheels look money. They look awesome. They look like an aftermarket wheel, and Mazda has some really, really nice wheel designs. And I really now have a soft spot for the Miata. And honestly, if I had an extra $40,000 lying around, I would buy one of these and add it to my little collection. I got a 2010 Camaro. I also have a 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia and a 1987 Ford F-150 that's supposed to be LS swapped, but it's in actually a few hundred pieces right now. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood, it reveals the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that makes 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 6-speed manual transmission with an automatic as an option for a 0 to 60 time with the manual if you're a good driver in 5.7 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 26 miles per gallon in the city, 34 miles per gallon on the highway for 29 miles per gallon combined with rear wheel drive only. I know those horsepower and torque figures really don't seem like all that much here in today's day and age, but if you get behind the wheel of this thing and you start banging gears, 60 miles an hour feels like 100 miles an hour, and it is a absolute blast. It feels like you're driving a go-kart that's just extremely fast. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything from the video, if you're a car enthusiast, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, first things first, I love the side profile shot of the retractable fastback. But as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access, so all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this button right here, and it will unlock. You can also lock it by pressing that very same button again, and it will lock back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's Mazda's classic key fob, satin black, chrome accenting, and going over the functions, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your trunk pop function, and your panic function. But pressing the unlock button, let's see what the interior of this particular Miata has to offer. So all the RF GTs get the body color piece at the top of the door panel. This particular one, though, has been optioned with the $300 tan Nappa leather upholstery. It looks awesome, same color that my mom's has. She's got the Soul Red exterior though, and it looks great here on the interior. Nicely padded armrest. You have your window switches here. You get automatic down, but you do not get automatic up. power side view mirror controls, you're unlocking your lock functions, and that is going to restrict the passenger window privileges. Also, as standard with the RF GT, you get a 9-speaker Bose sound system, and it sounds phenomenal. My mom's got the same sound system in hers, and you will be blown away by how good the sound system is if you experience it for yourself in person. It sounds like I'm fanboying over this thing. I'm really like not, but I am. It is really that good. Anyways, this is the speaker with the Bose sound system. You get a manually adjustable driver's seat, you get a manually adjustable front passenger seat, and you get speakers in the headrest and a nice little Bose speaker or Bose thing right there. But stepping on into the interior, first things first, I guess I can give you a shot of the pedal box down there. You can see you get the floor-mounted accelerator. The clutch pedal is nice and light, and it's just a very nice actuation. Coming over to here, this is basically going to put you into your traction control, like competition mode, I guess you would say. Like competitive mode is like what the C5 Corvette has. So if you click it once, it puts you into traction competitive mode. That's kind of like a similar thing there. But take a listen to what it sounds like being fired up with the door closed. Close the door, take a listen. Now let's fire it up, take a listen. Nice little rev when it first starts up. So now I'm basically just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior, and then we're gonna go for a drive, which I wanna get into the drive now, but we gotta walk throughout the interior first. So first things first, you get an HVAC vent there, you get your traction off button there, I already went over that one. This is going to turn your driver assistance aids, basically the beep beep beeps that you get, that's gonna turn the driver assistant aid beep beep beeps off. This is to turn your automatic high beams on or off. Now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, it is also your headlight control stock. So all the way up is headlights off. Now that is headlights automatic. That is daytime running lights on. And that is headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic personally. And then zooming back out, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen. Beep, beep. That is what the horn sounds like on the Miata. And then going over the functions on the steering wheel, you got your volume controls here. That's to go forwards on a track, backwards on a track. Clicking on that info button is going to change what you see here on your 4.6-inch LCD display. I'll get into that in a second. This is to speak to the vehicle as well as pick up on a phone call, and that is to hang up on a phone call. This being the RF GT, if this was automatic, you would get the Mazda radar cruise control with stop and go, but this one being a good old manual transmission, you just get the classic cruise control. So no adaptive cruise control here with the manual. Then you also get rain sensing wipers. When you put it there on auto, that is rain sensing wipers on. Now moving into our gauge cluster, starting on the right, you have your speedometer. At the center, you have your tachometer, and down here, this is basically where it lets you know, like let's say you're cruising at like 40 miles an hour in like second or third or fourth gear. Basically, it's gonna want you to shift to the highest gear so you get better fuel economy, and it's gonna go like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 or 4 to 6, something like that, and it's gonna read out right there. You'll see that on the driving portion of the video. And then over here, this is to brighten and or dim the gauge cluster as well as the backlit buttons. I'm not sure if you can see, you get a little stalk right here. And when you twist to the left, it dims the gauge cluster. You twist it to the right, it brightens the gauge cluster. And then when you click on it, pay attention to what happens right here. Basically gives you a different, temperature reading. I'm not quite sure what that temperature reading is. I'm assuming it's the coolant temperature. And if you're on track, it basically gives you some more temperature without worrying. But let me know in the comments down below what the point of pushing on that does. But anyways, right now it's displaying the compass, the fuel range, then you got the ambient exterior temperature, the odometer, and the fuel gauge. Now to control that screen, again, you have this info button. So when you click on the info button, now you can see your trip A and your average fuel economy, trip B and your average fuel economy, your driver assistance stuff, and then it brings you back into the screen we were already on. So there's really not all that much you can do with that screen. I like to leave it on that one. Coming over to here, this screen is new to the Miata for the 2024 model year, and it is the new 8.8-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So this is what the screen looks like, classic Mazda screen. And if you wanted to control that screen, you have these controls here. So this is to go backward. This is like your back button. This is to scroll around and select. Then you got your shortcuts into your nav, home, or your audio. So going throughout the screen, you can go into your information stuff. You got your entertainment, communication, navigation. This screen is not touchscreen until you go into your Apple CarPlay. So right now my phone is connected to Apple CarPlay. So if I push down on that, it's going to bring me into my Apple CarPlay screen. It might start playing some music. But anyways, it doesn't want to connect right now. But anyways, if you wanted to go into Apple CarPlay, all you would have to do is click down like that if you are on your home screen. Then again, all of this stuff controls that screen. Very easy to use. Not going to spend too much time on that. But beneath that, you get a circular HVAC vent. Then you get a, I guess, boxy HVAC vent. You get your hazard button. You get a single zone climate control system. It is a single zone automatic climate control system. That is what it looks like. You get all your physical controls. If you wanted to open up the hardtop, all you got to do is push up on that, and then the hardtop will begin to open. Take a look at what it looks like when it opens. It's actually a pretty cool little system here, but it is starting to rain. I don't think I'm going to leave it open. But anyways, that is how it works. And then you get this clear wind deflector right here. But I'm going to close that back up. All you got to do, push down on that, and then it will begin to close again. I'm not going to show you. Oh, well, I guess, you know what? It's the RF. I might as well show you what it looks like. So you don't have to lock it. It locks itself. Pay attention. This is going to lock, boom, right into position. All you have to do is press down on that, and it basically does everything else. Heated front seats come standard. You get 3 levels of adjustability with both. Then you get 2 USB-C ports down in there. You get a spot you could set your phone. You get your 6-speed manual transmission right here. And if you wanted to go into reverse, obviously you got to push that clutch pedal in. But basically you just push down on this, go to the left and push up, and that is going to pop up not only your backup camera, but that is how you go into reverse. So that is that. Then you get the parking brake right here. You get all of this stuff. And when you open this thing up, this is honestly kind of worthless. Can't really put anything in there besides a key fob. Then you get these 2 cup holders here. You get a lockable glove box with a good amount of storage space. Really not all that much, but you can fit what you need to back in there. Again, guys, this isn't meant to be a daily, even though my mom does daily hers, so it is possible to daily. And then you get a frameless auto dimming rear view mirror here with your home link on the bottom. That's your universal garage door opener. You also get a halogen light in here. And then opening these up, you get a vanity mirror, no vanity light. You get the same thing on this side as well. And we're gonna see, do these slide? Okay, they don't even open up. So yeah, that's kind of about it for the interior of this thing. Not too much going on in here. Speaking of seat comfort though, these seats are extraordinarily comfortable. You would be extremely surprised if you've never sat in one before and you sit in one. They are so very, very comfortable. But yeah, we've talked about the interior, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance. So now I'll obviously want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. Normally when I film a video, even if it's a convertible, I never really drive with the top off because it really messes with the audio in the video. However, with the Miata, you don't really get that much wind noise, so that's why I feel like I'm okay. But here's a nice little acceleration. These things handle extremely well. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how well that these things handle. So I'm not going to go too fast just because I can hear a little bit of wind noise. However, I will say these are an absolute blast to drive. I mean, they're actually just probably one of the most fun vehicles that you can drive. So you have to be going at 6 miles an hour to be able to close the roof. So we're going to go under 6 miles an hour. And I'm gonna close the roof just because there was a little bit of wind noise and I really don't want that to mess with the video. So that's normally why I won't do a video, with the top off most of the time. It's not worth it because it really kind of messes with the audio in the video. I've done it times before and it's just no good. So anyways, I love the Miata. It doesn't matter if it's the RF, it doesn't matter if it's the Club. They are all immense fun to drive. It doesn't matter if it's an NA, NB, NC, or an ND. They're all just fun and different in their own right. They're just really great vehicles. And honestly, when I was driving this thing over to the spot where I film, here, take a listen. in front of me got on it a little bit, so it gave me the little bit of a leeway too. Isn't this like, it's so much fun to drive. It's just an absolute blast. Even with the automatic, by the way, it's still fun. Take a listen. Even with the automatic, it is still fun to drive. This one being a manual, it's even more fun. My mom does have the automatic. It is her daily driver, believe it or not. This vehicle, this small, it's her daily. And it's, I mean, she hasn't had a problem really with it because I got a truck, or I have a Honda Ridgeline. It's not technically a truck, but you know, anything that she needs to move, I just go and help her move it. So it's not really an issue. Anyways, just an absolute blast to drive. It's just very easy to drive in bumper to bumper traffic as well because the clutch is so light. And it's honestly, you know, I've driven many stick vehicles, and my buddy had a Subaru WRX STI, and that thing was really hard to drive. I don't know why, but it was always kind of a struggle to drive, and it took him a long time to learn how to drive it as well. So it's not just me. This is a very easy manual to drive. You know, you like right now, all I'm gonna do is put the car in gear and let off the clutch, and it won't stall. I just let the clutch out fully. I didn't give it any sort of gas, and obviously I'm on flat ground, but it's very easy to drive. So let's say, you know, you're somebody out there, you're like, oh man, I really want a Miata, but I've never driven a manual vehicle before. You don't have to worry, because it's really not that difficult to learn how to drive this manual. It's very easy. It's not like super jolty or anything like that. Like, I have a 2010 Camaro, and it's not difficult to drive, but it's not super easy to drive, and it's just a lot more bucky than this. Obviously my car is also quite a bit older than this as well, but just a very easy manual to drive. Clutch is very light, so if you get stuck in traffic, it's not really that big of an issue. Here's an acceleration. I love the way it sounds. It's such a blast to drive. And you know, if you've never driven a Miata before, but they kind of pique your interest a little bit, you know, just reading the facts and the figures online or on paper, you're like, that thing doesn't really seem like it'd be that much fun to drive. But then you get behind the wheel of this thing, especially if you don't have a passenger and it's just you, and you start kind of rowing through the gears or just getting on a little bit, you'll be like, man, this thing is really fast. And then you look down at the speedometer, you're going like 45, 50 miles an hour, but it feels like you're going like 80. That's just the charm behind the Miata. They feel so much faster than they are, and they're such a pleasant driving experience. I mean, if you've watched any of my other reviews, you know that I am a big power person. I always say, if you can get more power, get the more power. But I got to put a little asterisk after that, because when it comes to the Miata, you don't need more power than what it has. However, when I was on my way into filming videos today, a thought just popped into my head. I'm like, what if Mazda from factory put a turbo in one of these? That would be pretty sweet. Handling, amazing. I also got to say, comparing the manual to the auto with all the like limited slip differential and all the different suspensions, like suspension components, like with the manual you get the Bilstein shocks, it makes a big difference. My mom's car definitely has got that more body roll, whereas this does not have really any body roll. Like I said, the automatic is more of the cruiser. This is more of like that sports car, and I'm not saying that automatic still handles phenomenally well, but you can tell that this one's just a little bit more dialed for sporty driving. But it doesn't really, you know, the suspension doesn't feel like insanely stiff, so it's really not that big of an issue. You can just feel when you go around turns, there's a little bit less body roll with this as compared to my mom's with the automatic that does not have the Bilstein or the Sport Tune suspension. So we're gonna do just a regular, not crazy acceleration, but a little something. That is what's so fun about the Miata, is like right there, we were only going 60 miles an hour, but it felt like we were going like 80 or 100. You know what I mean? It gives you that feel. You know what I'm saying? It gives you the feel that you're going faster than you are, and that's just what adds just to the very fun driving experience of the Miata. You know, in my 2010 Camaro, I really got to get on it in order to have fun. This, you don't have to do that. So overall, what an absolute joy to drive. The transmission is great. It's not too notchy. It's got a very nice feel to it, in my personal opinion. The clutch pedal is very easy to drive in traffic, but it's also very nice. It's also very different from what I'm used to. Like my 2010 Camaro, I just had the clutch and flywheel replaced, and now my clutch releases like all the way at the top. This releases like 3/4 or a quarter up from the pedal. Like if you push the pedal all the way down, it's like releases in that bottom quarter. Mine releases in the top quarter. So just very different. Took a little bit of getting used to. This has hill to start assist. I'm sitting on a hill and it keeps me in position, so you don't have to feel like very nervous when you're on a hill and you're like, do I gotta hold the e-brake like you used to have to do in the old days, how I have to do with my Camaro, because it holds you in position. So very easy to drive car, extremely fun to drive car, and this is just all about the experience. It really is all about the experience. It's a phenomenal driving experience, one of the best. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, if you're a car enthusiast, please stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. I got some cool car content coming up this summer. So if you enjoyed this video, I got some other cool videos coming. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.